Fix your mind on Him alone. Rest your thoughts on Him alone. And in Him alone you will live hereafter. May the Lord guide us and protect us.
Bienvenidos y bienvenidas a una entrevista más de la Cumbre Virtual de Yoga. Hoy me encuentro con el conocido maestro de maestros Sri Dharma Mittra. Es un honor y un privilegio tenerlo aquí en la Cumbre. Hoy se encuentra junto a Adam Frey, que estará asistiéndonos en caso de que necesitemos su ayuda. Muchas gracias a los dos. Quiero presentar a Sri Dharma Mittra porque merece esta mención y saber quién es. Él es discípulo directo del Swami Kailashananda, también conocido como Yogi Gupta. Él recibió sus enseñanzas en la década de los 60 y en el año 1975 fundó el Dharma Yoga Center en Nueva York, donde desde ese momento comparte las enseñanzas del Dharma Yoga, que viene directamente del clásico Hatha Raja Yoga. Él es conocido como gran formador, uno de los yogis más inspiracionales de nuestra era, y es un honor tenerlo hoy aquí con nosotros. Sri Dharma Mittra, welcome and thank you very much for being here with us. How are you?
You are welcome. I am all right, almost. And it is a pleasure to share some knowledge combined with realization. Of course, lots of reflections involved, lots of time reflecting upon some secrets in order to really realize. And I am ready to share some of them.
Let's go there. To start with, I would like to ask you, there are many spiritual paths. How come the path of yoga becomes so popular around the world, especially that there was before a closed technique reserved just for a few, and now in the 21st century we can see yoga everywhere around the whole world. Why do you think that this phenomenon happened with yoga?
Why? I think it is the results, the evidence that those who practice it is that they cannot hold it. They have to share the bliss that it is so easy to get it. It's already in us. We just have to find the little key to open that little door to get it. Everyone are in different conditions here in this planet. There are older souls, younger souls, and also everyone is right now subject to their impressions from the past. And they may be some obstacle. And everyone have their own dharma. That means tendency. So if you have tendency for singing, devotion, you follow some different path of yoga, the bhakti yoga. Those who are really intelligent, sharp minded, and full of some enthusiasm, they are fit for, let's say, jnana yoga. All these are part of Raja Yoga. Some of you are more physical, so you have to get more involved with the asanas and also keeping yama and niyama, improving their compassion. So there are many paths to fit everyone. There are exceptions. Sometimes people follow someone else's path. They do it perfectly, but they don't succeed because it is not their tendency. So follow your own tendency. There are many ways. You don't have to do any even yoga practice. There is a yoga for household. Be nice to your pets, extremely compassionate to all. Become vegetarian for one reason, compassion. And automatically you're already into the yoga practice. Compassion is the foundation.
So maybe you were answering my next question. What's the true purpose of yoga? Or what's the true essence of the path of a yogi?
Well, yoga fits to everyone, to a caveman, to a man of today, right? So everybody have their own desire. Let's say men who are not seeking enlightenment yet, they are seeking some spiritual bliss, some evidence of divine thing, but not self-realization yet. So, but the main purpose of yoga is the essence of yoga. After you practice everything, even the samadhis, at the end, you have to tune your mind with your teacher, because the spiritual knowledge that is behind that, the final one, it is impossible to do it verbally or physical contact or through scriptures. It can only be imparted by copying someone's mind psychically. You have to tune your mind with your teacher. Learn how to tune your mind with your teacher. And then when you reach that, you will realize that you are one, exactly the same as God. When you came to existence, everyone became separate. Of course, we're going to be separate for a long time, but you have to realize what is inside. The life, immutable, changeless, eternal, exactly like God. That is only when you go beyond, almost at the end of your mind activities, you'll be able to get the essence. Is to realize that we and God are one. Everything is one. Immutable, eternal. We never die. We will never born. We are always here. But we have to realize that.
You talk a lot about the spiritual heart, and you define that is like a little portion of God. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
All right, let's go. Creation never had any beginning. But in order to understand this, you have, let's say, before creation. And according to the yoga system, the first step of creation, space, empty, space, nothingness, void. Right? What was there before the creation? What exists before creation? Everybody knows the Lord God. It has no form. It is not atom, not energy, not even bliss. It is the cause of bliss. Some people think that God is samadhi. Oh, this is just like nothing comparison with the cause of it. So in order to get the creation going on, the vibration, whatever, but everything has to have the self, this notion of life, existence. So the creation of the universe is like, let's say, everything here, let's say the air is before creation. let's say God, and then bubbles start coming up. Inside each bubble, what? The air, the same as God. The air. The bubble are us. All the bubbles are different. Everyone has a little different condition according to your condition. I am Dharma Mittra. I am this, your conditions. But inside the bubble, there is no I am Dharma or anything. It's just like one, exactly the same inside, is the same outside. When you reach the essence of yoga, it's like breaking the bubble. And then what remains? You can't explain. You're mute like that. So that's the essence. So everybody is a portion of the Lord. But now you are, it's like water. The Lord is water. I put lemon in my water, I became Dharma Mittra, lemonade. If you put orange, some people prune juice, very thick. You barely can see the water. But at the end, you're going to see that the water is the, without all the conditions, the Lord, forever, eternal, immutable, and has all these conditions. The scripture sometimes says, I became the living soul of all beings. I am dwelling in all hearts as their selves. God is the most self of all beings, everywhere. Not only movables, but everything that is specific about the self is there.
Thank you for this, deep and clarifying answer. Thank you. For a master like you, how can you explain the importance of living in a healthy body, and how do the asanas work, especially into having a healthy body?
Well, the body, as you know, the body, healthy mind is able to reflect, to, how to say, to manifest bliss, joy. Let's say I have all this knowledge. I feel like happy all the time. But if I start getting the body dirty, eating too much meat, committing sin, drinking, and losing my health, the mind start not, how to say, become not, how to say, fit to reflect knowledge. The memory is not available. The senses of pleasures that we have there in the mind that experience bliss after your meditation, that you're happy, they are not in good condition. And the senses of intelligence in the brain also cannot reflect all to keep all the good realization alive, how to say, accessible to your consciousness, because that triggers bliss all the time. So it is important to have the body healthy. There was a yogi who was in bliss, always in bliss. One day he had a stroke, and the stroke, for some reason, damaged the senses of pleasure, memory, intelligence in the brain. And then he became like, but deep inside, he could see it. Well, he was crying, saying, where is those bliss? I don't remember much of your glory, oh my Lord. But remember, you always have it. But in order to deal in the world, to cope with things, we have to have some bliss reflecting, available. So even the yogis who are enlightened, they believe, they know they have to keep their diet at the best, keep the body healthy, and then all good things keep reflected. What are reflecting? God manifestation in different levels. So in order to sense God in all his levels, we need the physical brain has to be in good condition. Remember, inside the physical, the astral, the mental, and keep going subtler and subtler. So we must do some yoga, do some posture, eat correctly, right? And do some breathing to calm the mind. I don't need any breathing for spiritual purpose. But before I came here to talk to you, I sit down and slow down the breath. And then the mind will function better. All the good qualities will be able to express better.
Talking about the body and eating, you mentioned meat. I would like to know, why are you encouraging people to be vegan?
Well, compassion is behind of everything. Everyone has a trace of compassion, even a caveman has a little bit towards his son. Compassion is the ability to see yourself in others. When your loved one suffer, you immediately copy him and you almost can sense the pain and suffering. So with some yogic knowledge, especially Atma Bodhi, also, you realize also that all beings, yourself is everywhere. All beings love life. They want to be happy. They fear violence. So when we have the ability to accept that, believe first. It's very difficult to see it completely, but at least believe in your scriptures and on the words of your guru, and then you'll be able to have it. So vegan is also not to be involved in eating animals. There are lots of good sayings up there. You'll be to eat. You want to know how civilized we are the way we eat. Nowadays, with space station, doing yoga, eating animals, eating milk, and cheese. Remember, the change is gradual. First, start eating meat, and then keep the eggs, and then keep the mozzarella only, and then very soon, as you go into pranayama and meditation, you're going to feel something in my head is blocking. Look like a glue in your blood. When you do shoulder stand, plow, you can see the thickness of your blood. You can't breathe. Your diet is not correct. Try to become vegan. Remove oils, animal fats from your diet. And then you get really healthy. Remember, there are celestial things today. Vegan. Go to online, you see amazing, all kinds of pleasurable vegan food. You'll never see a doctor again.
That's a big promise. Could you share, please, Dharma, your vision about spiritual devotion, or we can say Ishvara Pranidhan, and how do you apply it into the asana practice, like the devotion into the physical practice?
Well, a good yoga teacher should tell the students about a little bit about the laws of karma. We are right now subject to the impressions from the past. You may be blissful at this moment, and within a few moments, cravings start to torment you. You don't feel spiritual anymore due to some shastra impressions from the past. This comes occasionally, but there are obstacles from outside, from your family, from your son, all due to attachment to your loved one. When they suffer, it disturbs your practice. But if you have a little knowledge, you know it, but you don't let it turn into emotions. You know that everything is perfect. If they are suffering because it's due to their impressions from the past, or maybe they volunteer to pass through, but everything is perfect. It's very hard. Let's say if my brother's son died now, I notch the impact, but deep inside, I am even happier because they are following their path. Very soon they have a new body. Keep going. So there are lots of obstacles, lots of failures. So there are many paths of yoga. If you are not in good mood, you're eating too much, you can't control your diet, you cannot do asana, and then get involved in pranayama, go to the gym, do some singing, read the scriptures, do some selfless work for your teacher. That is better than doing all these poses. So there are lots of obstacles. I feel amazingly happy when I have serious obstacle. I like challenge. I just say to mentally to my Lord, give me some strength, Lord. I'll go through no matter what. This life, next life, next life. To the infinite, I will fight it. So I have many obstacles. I have repeated thousands of times, but I keep doing it. The main thing is there's no expectation. If you're expecting to remove all your obstacles from your life, you're dreaming, watch out. That causes the mind to become restless. Just do the best and don't worry about it.
Talking about challenge, I would like to ask you for this moment of a life that you have or someone have, like a personal crisis. How can a personal crisis can lead someone to evolve in his spiritual path? And I would like you to know, like in a personal way, that if you you've had, any personal crisis during your path, and if you learn from it, of this crisis.
Okay. Is Adam there?
I'm right here, Dharma. Dharma,
Right.
what Anna would like to know, can you tell her about a personal obstacle that you had to overcome on spiritual path?
Okay, of course. Now I understand. I have crisis due to attachments, and separation is the cause of pain and suffering. I have attachment to my younger brother. He just vanished one day. That was a little impact. Despite I knew the conditions, I knew about karma, but it went away very fast because the knowledge destroyed all that. So there is a divine, perfect region why all these are happening. And today, I have many obstacles showing up all the time. Sometimes people making false accusations. So I don't care about that. I have my conscience clear. If I have been accused or dishonored by some reason, I know it's my own stuff from the past. I even thank those who caused it for me. Of course, at the moment you get a little angry. Who is getting angry? The mind is natural to get angry occasionally, but you're not holding anything. So there are lots of things. You keep coming. Don't think after you at least believe that you are one with God, all the things are finished. No, we're still subject to the prarabdha karma, to some impressions from the past. But with the knowledge, they do not hurt you at all. You stand supreme. So follow your path, singing to overcome this condition. And remember all those who are 100 times worse than ourselves, suffering like you can't believe. And we are complaining about a little bit of things here and there. So pray, have faith.
I would like to ask you, Dharma, what do you think that are the main traps that you encounter in the spiritual path? The main traps.
The main
traps, like
trap, like trapping a rabbit.
Yes, like trapping a rabbit.
Again, the obstacles. Yeah.
Oh boy, I have one. Sugar. I can control the sugar and the sweet. I have conditioned that I should not eat the sugar. But sometimes I say, what's the point? I stop eating sugar, but I am depressed and cannot teach properly. So I prefer to take a little bit of the sugar in moderation. The diet is extremely difficult, but don't be too strict. And I think this is the only thing that but it's not an obstacle at all because it affects. Remember, the body has to be healthy. But I don't worry about. If I really want, I can stop. But I don't think mentally it changed the way I'm going to share the way. So I have my tricks and I go here and there. Don't go too far. And the Lord let it go. But the food, but whatever hurts more that I remember in the past, attachment to people. Attachment to your son, to your daughter, because it hurts. Attachment to your guru. Guru also lasts for a few moments. They have to go. So learn that everything is within, and the Supreme Guru is who? You, the Lord Shiva. Well, Lord Shiva represents the Supreme Teacher.
What's the purpose of Yoga Nidra? I know that you are sharing always Yoga Nidra practice and techniques. What's the real purpose of Yoga Nidra?
Well, I think it's amazing the purpose. I could sit down here and talking forever. It's mainly the most important is to get the body healthy and get all the rest to restore the body to the original setting, right? And from there, the mind is affected, the brain. The brain is the center of everything, almost. So is to restore mental abilities, and those older souls who are walking towards Atma, about the self-realization, who are more disciplined, looking for answers, to see all the layers that is concealing the self. Did you ever get the cautious, the layers? So from Yoga Nidra, you'll be able to see what is beyond the witness. And then gradually you can break the witness, but you are always with the witness. And gradually sense, almost realize, but not realize that you are the self, that force, that life behind consciousness. And the consciousness are behind the senses of perceiving. And we are experiencing to be aware of something. In order to be aware of your own ego, you need the senses of perception. Now, from Yoga Nidra, gradually you'll be able to become unconscious of the body. And then you become unconscious most of the activities of the mind. You'll be able to see your own attention going here and there. You'll be able to sense the feelings. At the same time, you realize I'm not what I can sense, but I am in it. But I realize I am not the feelings or the bliss. Oh, I am very intelligent now. I know everything. From there, also, you can realize the mind, the astral brain, has all the knowledge. You are immutable. So, with good health, body, physical, mental, and spiritual, you are ready to go through the rest of the journey in order to get the essence of yoga. It is active meditation. It is getting very popular all over the world. If you learn it properly, if you do it 2-3 times a day for 45 minutes, you don't have to spend your time in bed, unconscious, waste your time. Many yogis in India, they never waste time sleeping. What a waste of time. So learn Yoga Nidra and gradually you may not. You need less and less sleep. Less and less. That is the sleep of the future. I forgot to tell you, it is the best thing for healing. Not physical, but mental, and keep going.
Can you name one technique that can boost our inner immune system, especially nowadays that we are under this pandemic issue around the world, and we need to do it. We need to be healthier, and we need to know this kind of wisdom and techniques. Can you name just one that you think that maybe our audience can know and maybe learn?
Before we go into that, I believe I have this intuition The cause of all virus and coronavirus has something to do the way we are conducting ourselves here in this planet. Mistreating the animals, lots of torture, amazing torture, people eating too much animals, right? And polluting the planet with the wastes of the animal. This is going to be, remember, the planet is a being. We are polluting him. We are destroying, making that being unhealthy. So it generates all this virus. There is a message. Be more compassionate to beings. Stop eating animals. Animals are made to love. But anyway, to become immune, watch your diet first, right? And then yoga nidra. At the end of the yoga nidra, you can make suggestion. Whoever's out there, whatever exists, the best for this condition, let it take place now for the next 2 or 3 minutes. And imagine that you are having divine help. There are infinite numbers of celestial doctors, medicine exactly for the coronavirus. So be receptive. Lie down and get a strong feeling at that moment that you're getting the best to get the body strong to resist virus. So be nice to our beings. Stop eating animals. If conditions, let's say, if a condition start appearing on you, yoga nidra, get some garlic. Put garlic in some warm water, a tablespoon of agave, blend it, filter it, and drink it, I think. So anyway, your diet and relax and keep sending love everywhere automatically. Your vibration, your immune system improves. So watch the food, rest, have faith. If you have to have a condition, remember the laws of karma. Do you think that God allow you to have bad values? No. If you're already doing yoga, because you don't have this bad karma there. I believe I have one, but he cannot function. They're so bad, try to leave. But I'll keep him there to learn a lesson. You can't do anything here.
Thank you very much for these necessary tips. We need it. We need it.
Thank you.
Dharma, is there any mantra that you go over and over again because you feel that is powerful and that, or that maybe it's useful for you?
Yeah. Okay, mantras, there are levels. Everyone, for example, everyone know about Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the in self. It's one of the, I consider one of the great, not the greatest, but mantra. But remember, when you get it from online, it has power. But if you don't have to impart, you may do Om Namah Shivaya. But if your guru give it to you, it has his impulse, spiritual power behind it, a creative form, power that will affect the results of repetition. It materializes. So one may do Om Namah Shivaya, so hum is already in the breath. Every time you inhale, so every time you exhale, hum. But the most efficient, powerful, is always saying to the Lord inside, Om Namah Shivaya, I bow to you. You are my everything. Without you, I am nothing. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Of course, if you have a religion, concentrate on what you believe. Shiva represents him. If you believe in Jesus, Shiva represents Jesus. Om Namah Shivaya is like Om Jesus, Jesus, Yaya. So Om Namah Shivaya, or just Om mentally in your breath, in and out all the time. According to your condition, see which one you like. If you wish to contribute with the world peace, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. It is by giving that we receive. Lastly, it is by making others happy that we will be happy. You can do mantra to make others to be happy, and do it for you, for anyone you like. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Anything else you want to ask?
Just the last question of the interview. You have in front of you the yogi Spanish community around the world, the whole world. Any final message from your heart that you would like to share and to leave here to all of them in this moment? Please, thank you.
Well, we have to be like Lord Shiva, dancing and dancing without the condition. Remember, whatever you perceive, remember what exists here before. Everything is made of him. Whatever you see, no matter how bad it looks like for the senses, if you dissolve all that, the Lord. So, in order to keep our thoughts resting on him, to sing. There are beautiful emotional mantras in a song, in action. Sing, be nice to the pets, to all beings. Keep singing and don't worry about the obstacles. Obstacle is a good challenge. The purpose of all suffering everywhere, purpose for the cleaning of them in order to enter the kingdom of God. So, lastly, if you have any doubts, you cannot get it here. Tune your mind with your teacher or someone that you believe. Tune your mind. It's like channeling. It's like copying someone. And then automatically you get everything psychically. That is one of the greatest secrets of yoga. Tune your mind, that you get the essence. You have to tune your mind with the higher mind and be happy. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be receptive to the infinite bliss, power, knowledge, all accessible to you, even through the internet. Remember, the internet is part of God's manifestation to make us feel comfortable, to get the scriptures, everything at the click of a finger in your computer. Thank you for you. Amazing, thank you. This makes me happy to share the way. It is by getting our thoughts together, like what you're doing, that we can change the world.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from all the ones that we are here looking and receiving from your teachings and wisdom. Thank you very much for sharing here in the Yoga Summit.
Thank
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Cheers. Without Adam, I wouldn't be here.
Thank you both. Thank you. Y a ti te veo en la próxima entrevista. Gracias por estar.
Muito amor, com muita alegria, com muito prazer.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you.